Hi, welcome to the F1 Time Portal. Today, we're sharing our POV on the 2026 Bland Belgian Grand Prix. I'm your host, Luigi.
And I'm your other host, Rosa. So let's go. And we have Andrew back with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me back again, guys.
No worries. I want to have you back now because you have to take back what you said about Charles Leclerc. You got to take it back. I want to hear an on podcast take back of what you said about him.
I reckon what I said about him was accurate, and he's used it as motivation to get better. So it's all worked out really, really well. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, is it a fact that he is the top scoring driver of the last two races? I think he is.
I think he is.
Yeah,
he's 100%.
Well, he's had a first and a second.
That's top. Because Antonelli retired, right? So
yeah, that's right. Antonelli's had a retirement and a first.
And he was, 3 races ago, Leclerc looked like a train wreck.
He looked like a has-been.
He couldn't stop crashing, could he? He was crashing in practice, qualifying.
Yeah.
During
races,
the race. Yeah.
Brake issues.
It was back to the 2022 Leclerc where he crashed all the time.
Well, now Hamilton seems to be on the back foot, so it's funny how things have changed around.
Maybe they've gone back to those Brembo brakes. Maybe they've gone back to the Brembo brakes, and that's why.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Hamilton just keeps getting with these ridiculous penalties that just take him out of the contention.
Yeah, lately it's been like that. They didn't even tell him straight away. I know we jumped straight into the race, but remember they just told him, we're going to pit now.
Yeah.
And you've got a 5-second penalty. Oh, by the way. Yeah.
That's right.
I was wondering, is there a rule or is there psychology to tell them or not tell them?
I reckon they're scared of him. I don't reckon they wanted to tell him because he'd get angry at them or something. I don't know. Or they don't want to disappoint him or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It wasn't their fault, though. It was his fault. We'll get to that later, I guess.
All right, we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that,
Which one are you talking about? He got 2 penalties, didn't he? Or did that second one not come through?
No, they didn't. Okay. They fined the team for the second one, but he didn't get a penalty.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder if they would have fined him if he'd ran over another team's mechanic.
Yeah.
Like versus your own.
Probably. And the other team probably would have been gunning for it as well.
Yeah, we want money.
We want
money and
20-second time penalty.
Yeah. Anyway, I did say bland. Was I right in saying bland?
Yeah, look, nothing much happened in this one. There was a couple of accidents during practice, wasn't there? It was the same accident for 2 different drivers.
Yeah, on the same corner.
Yeah, a little bit like Monaco.
And I think they also didn't do very good coverage. Like there were battles through the midfield that didn't show us any of it. So I read about some really good battles between the racing bulls against each other.
Yes.
We just didn't see it. Or we had to look it up.
That.
Yeah.
Because they were showing that little, small
inset
video underneath the scoring totem.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they did have the, that because I think the racing bulls nearly took each other out.
Yes.
And so that was but they had that on the little screen, so you couldn't really see it.
Yeah.
And then later on, Colapinto passed, I think it was Gasly and Lawson in the one go.
Yeah.
Yes.
And again, I didn't see that until I saw it on Facebook this morning.
Which is ridiculous. It's like, what's going on? They're missing all the exciting things. But
crazy.
Yes.
Well, shall we start with the qualifying? Because I've got some things I want to say about qualifying, but should we go straight into it?
Go on. Yep.
Let's do it.
Well, what surprised me was this is before qualifying, but this is, I don't know if you heard about this, but Lindblad had the upgrades, talking about racing bulls, they had the upgrades for this car, but they only had the upgrades for one car. And they gave it to Lindblad and not Lawson. Now, Lawson's been doing great results, right? The last 8 races, he's been up there. And the way they did it was I think it was at the British Grand Prix, one of the practice sessions or qualifying, I don't know exactly, but they basically said to the drivers, whoever gets the fastest lap in this session will get the upgrades. And Lindblad got the faster time and he got the upgrades and not Lawson. But Lawson's the one that's been massively on form and has way more points than Lindblad. And I was surprised that they were that equal. Do you know what I mean?
Would you say, Louis, that you would have deemed Lawson to be the number one driver in that team and be prioritised, perhaps?
Let me see how many points they've got.
And given his results and also the fact that he's been in the team longer than Lindblad.
No, I wouldn't say that's the reason. I would say points.
Yeah, his results.
Yeah, his results. So let me have a look. So I've got to sort of remove, did Lindblad get points in this race? Or did they both get?
Yes, Lindblad finished ninth.
Eighth or
ninth.
Ninth, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking at that. So Lawson's currently 10th with 39 points. I don't, and the list I have goes up to 10. I haven't looked too deeply, to be honest, but we know he's ahead of him, and that's the main thing.
Yeah.
So why did they give Lindblad the upgrades?
But they are reversing it the next race, though, aren't they?
Are they? Or are they both getting the upgrade?
What I heard was that they had this competition for this race, and then the next race, which is next weekend, then Lawson will get the upgrade.
Okay, well, that makes me feel less upset about it.
Lindblad is 11th on 22 points.
Nearly half, 39 to 22.
Yeah.
Well, let's take 2 off, so 20 versus 39. I think they should have just given it to Lawson all the way, because Lawson is their number
Lawson's
one driver.
Also the one that is in danger of losing his seat. He's the one on the chopping block.
Is he? Why?
If you hear all the rumours.
Yeah. Oh, what rumours are you hearing? This is not the Piastri Max rumour. This is obviously an under the radar rumour, I guess.
No. Well, I think it's been around. Certainly was around 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think there's the guy, the one of the Formula 2 drivers, Solov, who's a Red Bull driver that's leading the championship. So I think they want to promote him.
In fact, isn't he? He's probably up there. He's on record pace, isn't he, in F2 at the moment?
I don't know if he's leading the championship, but he seems to be up there at every race.
I think I heard from him that he's up there with the type of record that Leclerc set in his F2, which was phenomenal. I don't know because I didn't follow it.
Or Arthur Leclerc?
Charles Leclerc. And I don't know it exactly because I wasn't following him in F2, but apparently he's on pace to better that record, that Charles Leclerc, which is, I think, winning his rookie season with the most wins or something like that, because I think Piastri and Leclerc both won their rookie seasons.
Yeah.
But he's doing it with more wins. So
that'd be tough on Lawson if he lost his drive.
Yeah.
You know, because he's doing pretty all right.
Yeah, but I think took a while.
Yeah.
But is he the next Max Verstappen?
No.
Or
is he the next Kimi Antonelli?
And I think that's what they're all trying to get. Is
he the
Red
next
Bull are probably
Charles
trying
Leclerc?
To go back to
no.
Yeah, but if Lawson's going to be dropped, for example, to your point, being replaced, what's his name again? Say it again.
Solov.
Yeah.
It's like, what's that Australian brand soap? That one that you wash your hands. It's like sand. Solvol.
The really rough one.
Yeah, the rough one.
Like takes the one that's your skin off as well.
Yeah, it's for mechanics and people that have grease on their hands. You know, it'd be terrible if he lost his seat because you've got people like Ocon still there.
I know.
There's lots of Stroll. Yeah.
Well, I don't think Ocon's guaranteed to keep his seat next year either.
No, he's gone. And that's the first thing I was going to say. Ocon was 0.7 seconds off Behrman. So he's gone. He's gone. The poor guy. Because I do admire him for coming from nothing. Like his family was a poor family, or poor is the wrong word to use, but just not an affluent family.
No, that's right.
And they probably had to do a lot of sacrifices.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
I hope he made a lot of money on the way to at least offset that. And
look after his family.
This is his last Formula One season. Pretty confidently, we can say that. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we've heard it first here, so I'm going to start spreading that rumor.
Yeah,
Luigi.
News.
As we are. Yeah.
The
Astons.
I wonder if he knows that.
The Astons were 4.3 seconds off Q1. 4.3.
Wow.
2 seconds off Cadillac.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I was going to mention that the overall pace. So the pole time last year was 4 seconds quicker than this year. So it was a 1:42 last year and a 1:46 this year.
Interesting.
And Aston Martin were 8 seconds slower, I think.
Yeah.
No, actually, I think it was 1:40 to 1:46. So I think it might have been 6 seconds slower.
Yeah.
No, 1:40 to 1:44. But Aston's were 8 seconds slower than last year. Alonso must just think he's driving a bus around. Like, that's just.
Well, is Hungary when they're bringing their B-spec car?
Well,
is that Hungary or the race after the summer break, so to speak?
No, I think I heard that it was Hungary. They're going to bring an upgrade, but it'd have to be a pretty good one.
Well, they bragged and said it's going to be at least 2 seconds faster, which puts them on par with Cadillac.
Which puts them only half a second behind Cadillac.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But I was going to mention that the time, like, I know it's a different spec, but really 4 to 5 seconds a lap slower than the last year. That's
disappointing.
Not great, is it?
No. And look, I still feel like we're not seeing the best out of the drivers at different points in the race. Like when you hear things like, I've got no power, my car's not responding. They are accelerating and they're just not getting the response out of their car. I think that's a step backwards for Formula One rather than a progression.
Well, you even heard, I mean, this goes to the George Russell situation where George is baffled as to why he thinks there's something wrong with his car. But he has got the same car, right? As Antonelli.
Yes.
And it's like, and it just sounds weird to hear the team say, we don't know why. And George is saying, I don't know why. It's unusual, isn't it?
It is. And I just wonder whether we're getting to the point, that the drivers have to learn how to drive this new specification, and he's just not there. But he was there at the beginning, so I don't know how much that's changed a lot from him like feeling at one with the car to now can't get it to move fast enough.
He's saying he doesn't think it's the car as such and the driving style. He's thinking it's the engine and the power deployment
unit,
and the battery and the power unit.
deployment. And that's what I mean. I sort of feel like it. Yeah, I can't think of a.
Yeah.
You go, Andrew.
The other thing I was thinking was, surely they can be changing the power modes and the battery modes for different tracks. Because I think, Monaco, obviously there's, they had a lot of time to recharge the battery because there's no long straights. Whereas Spa, there was always going to be an issue because they're basically flat out from the source hairpin up to the top of the hill.
Yeah.
And then all the way down the bottom. They're pretty much not braking, but you'd think they would be able to change the battery deployment and the, whatever they have to do to actually give them more power or have a more consistent power profile.
Yeah.
Well, they changed it after, was it Japan where they nearly had that accident where, was it Ocon smashing? Oh, no, Behrman was involved and someone nearly rammed into the back of him.
Yeah.
Because of the power deployment. So I think they've ratcheted it down a bit now so that it's not as high of a deployment and a change.
They're different now to the start of the season. At the start of the season, you had the Ferraris like a rocket and the Mercedes with their terrible starts. Now Mercedes are doing good enough starts. Ferraris are not as rockety as they were.
No.
And it started with what you're talking about, Rose, when they started playing around with that because they saw so much kickback reaction against the
Yes.
what's it called again? That awful term, super clipping.
Super clipping.
Yeah,
Super clipping. Yes, that's right.
But what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say is, I think, could they not modify it race to race?
Well, they could.
Could they? Because Hungary's next, and Hungary's going to be a different beast altogether, right? Because it's not as fast.
No,
there's
it's
a lot of
not.
time to recharge the battery.
Yeah.
Whereas Spa was always going to be that track where, they're going to use a lot of battery.
Yes.
But anyway.
Yeah. So one of the things I was going to mention about qualifying was Max and Isaac.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
You talking about the
Wasn't
towing?
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, the towing. And the fact that I wonder if Perez would have done it for Max.
He wouldn't have been fast enough.
But that second lap that he did the tow, like we didn't see an onboard camera from Max's car, I don't think, but he got awfully close.
He did, didn't he?
It was. I was waiting for something to happen there.
I was waiting for Max to go. He's not going fast enough. Yeah. And look, and the commentators still talk about clean air. Like, I didn't think clean air was as important in this spec of car. And then you look at Max getting towed that close behind Isaac.
Yeah.
You go, what happened to the clean air? Surely this isn't a good tow if he's that close.
Well, they said that at this track, the dirty air, it can last 3 to 4 seconds. Isn't that what they said in the broadcast, I think? So apparently, I guess depends on the track as to whether clean air helps. Like Rosa, we remember, and Andrew, the Monza days. Clean air is all about the straight pushing through the hole, but it doesn't help in the corners, but it helps on the straights. And I guess Belgium has they're not what I'll call traditional straights. They're like gentle curving straights. Yeah. But they're still straights, Yeah. So, but I thought they were going to, I was like wondering if Max slams into Hadjar, which looked like could have possibly have happened, if that had happened, they'd probably ban towing, I reckon.
Yes.
But they didn't.
Yes.
They didn't hit each other and they did a good job.
No.
Max qualified really well.
He did. Yes.
Second.
Yeah.
Yes.
So why didn't Norris tow Piastri? Because Norris had the 10th-place penalty.
Well, I've got an answer for that, but I don't think it'd be allowed on this podcast.
Well, Norris still had to qualify as high as he could, right? Because
he only had a 10th place.
He could have been 11th. I guess he could have been 11th.
If he towed him around and finished 8th, he would have started 18th, and he wanted to still.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to say, he'd find it hard to overtake 12 cars.
Yeah. But, Belgium was always the track. I remember in the days when, not that long ago, when there were limited engines and a lot of drivers would take their new engine at this track because it was easy to pass. It's not really the case now. It was like moderately easy to pass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought Isaac did a good job of it. Like he came from the last on the grid. He was like, didn't he finish in the top 10? 7th or something?
Sixth.
Yeah.
I think that was Isaac.
Last.
That was Isaac more than the car, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. Anyway, any other things from the qualifying you guys want to talk about? Other than Antonelli got an amazing pole, the biggest margin of the season.
Right.
Easier on the big longest track, but still 0.3 of a second. I didn't realize that every other pole has been by less than that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
I didn't expect him to be so far in front, but
no.
Yeah, I think, obviously Red Bull were good. Ferrari weren't too bad. They're all pretty close, really.
Yeah.
And even
Russell,
the Audis were
half a
quite,
second off.
Audis were pretty fast this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14th and 9th.
Yeah. Have you seen what's happening now, the inevitable social media crowd kind of making all these similarities between Senna and Antonelli?
No. Really?
Yeah.
What are they saying? I haven't looked at anything like that. Yeah.
Right, all the way from the way he drives and the speed and the intuition, all the way through to he
Yeah.
was born in the same hospital where Senna died, in the same year that Senna died. He's got the same
Oh, I didn't
birth
realize
date
that.
or something. Yeah, there's all these like conspiracy. When I say conspiracy,
Wow.
those weird kind of
Oh, so they're saying it's a born again
voodoo.
Senna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and he looks like him when he was young, and all these people are now coming out, with all these like voodoo things. But I mean, he's fast. We can say he's fast, and
Yeah.
he's very intuitive driver. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see.
And I
Are
reckon
you
he's matured. He's matured a
Mm.
lot as well, even
Yes,
throughout this year.
Yeah.
He seems to
yes,
have a lot more patience now
yes,
than what he had in the first few races.
yes. I agree with you. I agree. Yes.
Are you starting to feel a bit sorry for George? Like, no?
I don't
I
know.
feel a little
It's
bit. I mean, I don't care for either of them, to be honest. I mean, I like
what?
Antonelli. I'm like neutral with George, but I do feel sorry for George. Like, he beat Hamilton, and here he is walking for the championship, and he's being shown that he's being thrashed.
He is. He's
Yeah,
being handed his butt on a platter.
yeah.
I don't know. Do I feel sorry for him?
Excluding the fact that he's rich and all that stuff.
He kind of comes across as a bit entitled for me. Like he's a good driver. I think Andrew, you had him down as a world champion
I
contender
thought this
this
was going
year.
to be his year because I thought Antonelli needed another year. But,
Yeah.
whether it's a car issue or, who would know? I wonder if they should just swap cars and just see how they go. Didn't they used to do that in the old days?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Drivers would
they
get in
did.
the other driver's car and just see
Yes.
if there was a problem with the,
Yes. Yes.
I can't see it happening these days, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to
yeah.
know.
Okay. I don't feel sorry for him, but at the same time, it's not that I dislike him.
Yeah.
But I mean, sometimes the attitude that comes across from the car is just less than ideal. Way that he speaks about the team and stuff. And look, a lot of drivers are like that.
Yeah.
Like Ocon's the same. Albon turns into this beast in the car.
Yeah.
Like he's so nice out of the car, but in the car he's this really harsh, direct, uncompromising person.
Hadjar's like that too.
Hadjar.
Like he's settled down a bit, I've noticed.
Yes.
Or they're not broadcasting it as much as they used to.
Yeah, look, and I've never driven an F1 car, and I'm unlikely to, and I don't know what it does to your demeanour, but it must just increase the pressure.
Yeah, the
tenfold.
adrenaline.
Yeah, that's right.
So yes, we should.
I mean, I think it's just unfortunate, and I think the one, last night in the race, was just, he could have still finished in the top 2 or 3 probably.
I would have thought he would have finished third. Yes.
And he got taken out by Hamilton with a dirty move.
Yeah. All right. Are we going to talk about that now?
Yeah, let's talk about the race. You've opened up to it.
Let's talk about the race. And
well,
so I don't think I was surprised that Hamilton got a penalty, actually, I have to say.
Yeah, I agree.
was surprised. I thought it was just a racing incident. It was first lap. Okay, it wasn't first corner, but the cars were still quite bunched up at that particular point. Yep, he had a bit of a snap and he drove into the side of George. I don't know that it deserved a penalty. I don't know. I'm just putting that out there.
I'm with you. It was his fault, but not enough to warrant a penalty. I thought it was a racing incident, and ironically, even George called it a racing incident. So if George is calling it a racing incident and he's the victim, what more can you say? So I was shocked that he got I thought this is setting a precedent. It's going to be very confusing now. But what do you think, Andrew? You think
Hamilton I disagree.
Took him out?
Yeah.
He disagrees. Of course he disagrees.
I found listening to you two over the years that you've become more and more alike, and you don't disagree as much anymore.
Oh, we
So I've got
do.
to
We
be
have
the
to talk
voice of
about
reason and
We
come
have to
in.
talk about 64, and we'll be back to.
That's right.
Look, I think if you lose control of your car, which is what he did for a split second, and you take another car out, you got a 5-second penalty, which is compared to what happened to Russell, who's out of the race.
Yeah.
It's pretty light, So I can understand your point of view, but I didn't have an issue with it. I think when you look at the onboard, you got a snap of oversteer or something, and he turned into him, and that caused the accident. So,
well, technically,
he said he couldn't control the oversteer.
Yeah, but that's his problem, though, isn't it?
But you know
if he
what the
can't
funny
drive
thing
the
is.
car properly.
But Andrew, you're onto something, but it's something that hasn't landed properly. They say that they dish out the penalties according to the incident, not the consequences. Right? That's what they say. But we all know that's completely not true.
But look, I don't disagree with that.
Look what happened to Piastri and Leclerc, right?
Yeah.
Was a penalty given there? I don't think it was, because not much happened. If George
I think a penalty should have been given there as well.
Yeah, see, I don't think there should have been a penalty for that either. I
don't think there should have been a penalty for that.
Well, he moved across and forced Piastri off the track.
I don't think he moved. He was just racing his line. He didn't move across. He didn't brake. He didn't move under braking.
Piastri was alongside, and he would have had to end up on the curb to avoid him.
Yeah.
I think that was closer and less warranted of a penalty than the Hamilton one.
Yeah, okay. Well, Luigi and I are right, because there was no penalty. So
yeah,
you guys are getting boring.
But are you in teacher mode, Andrew? Like are you angry at work or something? And you want to punish it? You want to punish everyone for all their wrongdoings?
Justice for George.
Justice for George. Oh, jeez. And what was interesting was, I was going to say at the start, wasn't it funny how George was totally swallowed up at the start? Like he was falling back at a rate of knots, and then suddenly his battery kicked in, or whatever it was, which is what caused him to hit Hamilton in the end, because he was there.
I'd say that was his fault completely, because he was there.
Well, he should have got the penalty.
Yeah, that's right. But George even said, I shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. As in, he said, because he had that swallowed up moment, it put him in a dangerous position. And of course, he was he on the outside? I'm trying to remember. Was he the outside of that corner?
No, he was on the outside of...
Yes,
and
he was on the outside.
Which moved into the inside once
they went inside.
the left.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm surprised you could understand what he said, Luigi, through the emotion that was coming out of him at that press conference. He was very, very upset, wasn't he, the poor guy?
Yeah, I mean, he was within a win, and he would have come second.
He would have come second or third.
I think he would have beaten Leclerc unless he was also lucky enough to get the VSC at the same time as Leclerc.
Yeah. Yes, well, that's another talking point.
You mean the random VSCs?
Yes.
Yeah.
How many VSCs? I think the stewards were just VSC trigger happy this race.
Yeah.
Any little bit of debris that was on the track, they had to go and get it. I just found that ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you know how we were talking about how bad
the
TV coverage was?
Yeah.
We didn't actually see what the VSC was for. Like we had one, I think after the second one, there was like a 2-second grab of a marshal running across the track.
That's right. What for?
And then that was only like a 20-second VSC. Then it went off, and then, a minute later it came back on again.
Yes.
There was no explanation.
It was a bit longer this time. And remarkably, and I know that they've had a little bit of fortune of late, but remarkably, both the Ferraris were able to capitalise on that strategy car,
and
and come out with a cheap pit stop.
Was that cheap pit stop the one where Hamilton hit the mechanic? Was that one?
Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
yeah,
Yes,
okay.
because it was a double stacker. That was the double stacker, which wasn't a massive double stacker in the end.
No,
I think
because he was about
Leclerc,
3 or 4 seconds behind. So
I think Leclerc's pit stop was quite good. And then again, a ridiculous situation where he gets the green light to go, but one of them is being told to fix the wing position.
yeah.
That's very much a Ferrari blunder there. Very much a Ferrari blunder.
And Hamilton did ask, did my wing get adjusted? And they said no.
Yeah,
And he was
no.
like, I can't turn in, you know.
Yeah.
But I was wondering afterwards, do they actually have time to change the wing settings, even in a normal pit stop? Because
Apparently
they
do.
happen so quickly.
Mm.
Do they do it before? Is it the same guy that's changing the tyre? Was that the same guy?
No,
Is it some other guy that came in?
I think it's another guy. It's usually another guy, but this guy did look like the wheel gun guy. Yes.
And plus he had 5 seconds to think about it because he was sitting there for 5 seconds. Maybe he just
froze.
Yeah.
Maybe he was working on a 6-second penalty, not a 5
second.
He thought Hamilton deserved a 10-second penalty.
Shit, let it go.
It's only 5. But yeah, so I didn't realise, but yeah, apparently they changed the wing settings for different compounds of tyres every time, which I've never really noticed, but hey, I'm not looking at them that closely.
Yeah. I was surprised Hadjar didn't start on softs. Now that you're mentioning that, because I was thinking of, you know, how Hadjar was on the hards, they had that safety car straight away. Was it safety car or was it virtual safety car at the very beginning?
I think it was a safety car for Russell. It was safety car for Russell.
The full safety car,
Yeah, because of Russell. But what I was curious about was why didn't Hadjar start on softs? Because there was probably going to be a safety car or a virtual safety car soon enough. So it's funny that it went hards, mediums, hards in like 2 laps or something. It was very unusual.
Yes.
But he was probably planning to run long from the start, assuming no safety car.
Yeah.
And obviously when there was, they sort of thought, oh, well, here's the opportunity to
get back on him.
Get the tyre compound sorted out. And because I think he had 2 fresh sets of hards, which others didn't.
Okay.
But he drove really well and made his way through the field.
He did very well. That's right. And Norris, on the other hand, I mean, he drove quite well but they kept him out on his tyres way too long, I thought. He was losing like a second to everyone around him for quite a few laps.
And he even had battles with his own teammate, even though it was on a different strategy. Should McLaren have called it a bit more? They let them battle.
They did let them battle. Yes, that's right. Well, at first they thought Piastri had enough damage to sort of not contend for anything, but then it kind of came good, didn't it? When I don't know, with a new set of tyres, it was fine. Anyway, where did Lando end up finishing? Do you guys remember?
Seventh.
See, that's not great.
Yeah. He looked like he was going to get up on the podium at one point. Like he looked like he had the
battling
pace.
for third,
and he qualified third. Let's not forget that. He qualified third.
Well, Hadjar finished 6th, didn't he? And he started 20th.
20th, yeah. That's
Norris
what I mean.
Started 12th and finished 7th. So
So either the tyre strategy let him down, or
and he was up in 9th or 10th, after the first restart. So
that's
right. He was right
exactly.
Up there.
Well, as we're saying, he was battling for third. He could have. He was 4th and trying to get to third, and then he just dropped off. So who knows? I think it was strategy more than him and the car.
Yeah. I was going to talk about Max briefly. I was surprised. I felt like when the race started, I blinked and Max was in the lead.
Yes.
And I was like, what's going on here? And obviously, Antonelli got the lead a couple of quarters later. But I was impressed that Max at least got up there and he didn't have a horrible start because that Red Bull has been a real handful for making starts. So for him to even have the lead was impressive. So good on him for that.
Well, it's that don't they have the best engine?
Yeah.
That they've probably got a not a very good power unit, but they've got a good engine. So,
No, I had the
I
same
think
thought, Luigi, because
Yeah.
he made the pass out of La Source down to Eau Rouge, which
Mm.
I can't remember seeing that live on
No, it was like
the
no.
screen.
he's
And the next
suddenly
thing you know,
there.
he's in front going up the hill on the Kemmel
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight. But
Yeah.
he obviously used all his, and I don't know whether Kimmy might have done that. Do you reckon he might have done that purposely,
Yeah.
knowing that he
Yes.
could have because that was always going to be the issue, isn't it? That long drag up
Yes.
the hill,
Mm.
Yes.
that in the
Yep.
past, that's where the overtakes happen. So
Well,
whether
Yeah.
he sort of saved his battery, made Max use his, and then he got the drag up
Mm.
and the tow.
yeah. Well,
That's very good props for Antonelli there. Like
yeah.
you can see that he's thinking about the advantages of doing this and that, and he's really understanding the car and what he's got over other drivers and other cars. Like that's pretty good for what is he, 19?
19. You know what
Yeah,
they
that was
said
just a
before?
theory, Rosa, not I don't know if that
Well,
actually happened.
I don't know that you're wrong because it came off, didn't it? Like you've
Well,
got other drivers making passes in ridiculous places because then they just get ping ponged all
Yeah,
over the place.
pass back.
And
yeah.
that's right. And that didn't happen to him.
Well, they did say before the start of this season that with these regulations, the drivers who would do well with these
Mm.
regs were the ones that were brought up on Sims. So what are
Yeah.
they? They're younger,
Yeah.
and what? He's
Yeah.
19.
They've
Lindblad,
got
19 or whatever he is, very young.
Hadjar. Yeah.
Yeah, Hajar's young
Yeah.
too. So these
Yeah.
drivers are just, and maybe that's the problem George has. He was just not brought up with this type of driving style, and maybe if it's
Yeah.
just not there, it's just not there.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
I
Mm.
wonder what Leclerc would be like against a young driver instead of Hamilton, because maybe they're both
Mm.
underperforming in that Ferrari. I've got a
Well, he'll find
feeling.
out. He'll find out soon enough if Behrman ever gets there.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I
that's the
think Behrman
plan,
might
isn't
shock.
it?
I think Behrman's going to shock him, is what my
Yeah.
prediction is.
Yeah. You put
Yeah,
Behrman in a strong car. Well, when he was in that Ferrari, he did quite well in those couple of races. He took the
yeah,
seat for a while.
and a totally
So
unfamiliar car.
that's right. So
Yeah,
yeah, that could be a challenge to Leclerc's supremacy in that Ferrari
yeah.
eventually.
Sorry, did you say supremacy?
Did say that actually. Um,
What's the point standing? Is Hamilton or Leclerc in
yeah,
front in the championship?
well,
no, it's Antonelli, Hamilton, Russell, Leclerc. Yes,
Okay, just
yes,
thought I'd check.
yeah, okay.
yeah.
But look. Since you did say that he was, what did you say that he's lost? I don't know. I can't remember. Oh, was he the new Stroll? I think were your words. Um, since that famous line, he has pulled a couple of good performances out in the last two
Yeah, and
races.
I'm
So
standing by the
you're
fact that I'm
taking
taking
credit for
credit for
that.
that. Yep.
Okay.
And I was just going to ask a last question because the next race is the race before the break,
hmm
and normally that's when the contracts have their trigger clauses, which is why the rumors about Max and Piastri are flaring up. And these rumors were last year too at about this time when it was like, would Max join Mercedes or not? Because he had a clause in his contract that said if he was in a certain position in the championship. So Max is 7th in the championship, 1 point behind Piastri. So Piastri's on
Mm,
92, Max is on 91, and then there's a gap to Hadjar on 60. And so it's funny to see them. First of all, the Red Bulls drivers 7th and 8th. When you think the
mm,
top 4 teams, they're the worst of the top 4 teams. And I wonder if this is the trigger that Max is looking for. Will he
mm.
jump? Should he jump?
Maybe it's in his contract, Louis.
Yeah, that he probably can if he wants
Mm,
to.
mm.
Yes.
Can
Well,
you
I don't
see him in a
know.
McLaren though? I mean, I must say I've thought that about Hamilton. I wouldn't see him leave and go to Ferrari, but
Mm.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Zach Brown and Max Verstappen, have they ever really gotten on? I guess,
I think everyone would want Max in their team.
money would, yeah, exactly. But would he really want to go there?
I think I'm confident in saying that Max will never, ever, ever go to Ferrari.
That's a big call.
Or Mercedes.
I think Mercedes is on the cards.
You reckon?
What?
With Toto?
He'll go there.
Yeah,
He'll
Toto
go and
loves
work for
Max.
Toto.
Yeah,
but Max
he
doesn't
loves
love
him.
Toto.
Yes, he does. I'm predicting that he will be in Mercedes.
Well, I can't see him going there while Antonelli's there.
No.
Well,
that would be a dream team, though, wouldn't it? Would that be a Prost Senna?
That's a
late 80s sort of, Antonelli versus and Verstappen in the same team.
I would
Wouldn't that
say
be fantastic?
That would be the top two driver combination by far, and I would love to see it. It's unfortunate that Formula One has really backed away from, or no team wants two number ones because of for the stress that it causes everyone. But it's awesome for the fans, and I mean, in theory, we should be having that with Hamilton and Leclerc, but they're both such good, clean drivers that they're not really going to break each other down. We
saw it a little bit at the end of last year with Norris and Piastri.
Yeah.
We kind of saw it, but McLaren stuffed it up with their stupid papaya rules.
Yeah.
But we did see some pretty tough racing between those two. And both of them were vying for the championship at one point.
Yeah.
So that's probably as close as we've gotten to two number ones in the one team.
The difference is, for me, is that Verstappen is unquestionably, like we'd all say, is the best driver out there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Antonelli's probably the next one. Antonelli's probably the next one on the rise. He's probably even ahead of Piastri and Norris. And
at this point,
I think if you had those two together, that would be.
I'm disagreeing with you on the Max. I'm saying right now, Antonelli is the best driver in Formula One. By big margins. I've got a feeling Max doesn't like these cars.
But who would be number two, though?
Yeah.
Number two would still be Max, wouldn't it?
I'm not really seeing him shine that much this year because
he's a four-time world champion, and the last championship came with not a great car either. Like he'd come back to the field. I don't know that you can dismiss that and say he's not the best driver on the grid.
I'm saying with these cars, I don't think Max is what he was. And I think this applies to quite a few of the drivers out there. There's only a few drivers that are owning this type of.
That's like saying that Hamilton's not a great driver because he hasn't been able to get the downforce era and the hybrid era working for him. I don't know that you can say that.
I'm just not convinced that Max is the best driver in Formula One right now. I'm saying it's Antonelli.
Antonelli he won 6 races or something?
More than that now, I reckon. But yeah,
no,
maybe six. Maybe a 6. Yeah.
It's 6.
Yeah,
it's 6. Yeah.
That's
a big call.
Okay. Let me put it in this way so you don't get the wrong idea. If we put Max and Kimi in the same car last year, Max beats Kimi every day. You put them in the same car this year, Kimi's beating Max every day.
No, I disagree. I don't know that you could be as definitive as that. That's right. And I'd say if you had to start a new team with new regs, who would you want? Who would you call on, Max or Kimi?
I can't have both. Oh, you need someone that can develop a car that's got experience.
Max.
Yeah, Max.
You'd go Max every day of the week. You'd trust him.
But in another year's time, I might just pick Kimi instead because Kimi's got a couple of years.
Yeah, but that's a different question. That's a question about longevity and potential and all that kind of stuff.
Experience and all that. Yeah.
Anyway, interesting conversation
good conversation
there.
to have. Yeah.
Yes, good conversation.
Okay.
Right.
I didn't have much else to say about the race.
No.
Yes. Otherwise, it sort of race over after the VSCs and after Antonelli caught and passed Leclerc, which we all expected.
Yes.
Did you have hope that Leclerc would hold out?
I thought, look, if he'd been able to build a bigger lead, but he just didn't have the speed. The straight line speed was just not there.
Yeah.
I don't know. He needed a good 7 to 10 second lead with 5 laps to go. I don't know that he could have held on.
It seemed inevitable.
Yeah.
And really, even Antonelli passed him, and Leclerc was only hanging on because of the overtake.
Yes.
Really, and once he broke that, it was sort of game over.
Yeah, it was game over. That's right.
And Britain would have been like this too. Like Antonelli was catching Leclerc, and then he went out.
100%.
We were waiting for the catch and
I was
pass.
looking at that little wing clip, going, "Come on, do it again!
Yeah,
get off!" But no, didn't happen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Hungary, different track again, as Andrew said. So we'll see what happens there.
Can Ferrari win it?
And Ferrari win another one.
It's their sort of track, isn't it? Isn't this?
It is
their sort of track. Yeah, like Monaco. I can't remember. I know Antonelli dominated, but it was expected
Andrew's
that
the
Ferrari
track guy.
would do well.
Andrew, is this a Ferrari track?
I'm not so sure it is. Well, it hasn't. I don't think it has been recently. I think it's been more McLaren.
Oh.
But I think things are just different this year, right? So
yeah.
The only other thing I wanted to say about the race was, and I think maybe it's just the tyre thing as well. The race that Lewis won was at Barcelona, where he did the 3 pit stops.
Yeah.
And he got him on tyres, and the 2, and this race it was almost like they could have run the whole race.
Yes.
Well, Padjar pretty much did on a set of hards.
Yeah, he did.
And I'm not sure what categories of tyre they bought, but to make the races more interesting, you just got to, I think, spruce up the tyres a little bit, really.
You need the tyres
because that Barcelona race where Lewis, you just have those strategies and more opportunities to spice things up, but we just didn't see that in this race. It was pretty vanilla in that respect.
We had the little bit of rain threat, but that went away real quick.
Nah, that didn't happen.
That's George's tears. Was that the rain threat?
Yeah.
Oh, poor George.
Poor George.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, all right.
Okay.
Good to speak to you again.
Yes.
Okay. Speak next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.